Hey everyone, Dan here. Before you get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Thursday, January 25th. We're going to take a look at NNDM today. So NNDM peeling down almost to the $2 level here. We see a low of 206 and now trying to push off of that level and putting in some interesting motion. So I thought we would come check on it. Now, the nearest in support level that I see is about 229 here, and we'll see if it's able to hold that. You know, at the moment it's kind of putting in some motion through it, and so it's sort of really important in my mind, if it's going to sustain any of this motion, that it doesn't lose that support level. You know, if it has to come down and retest this 221, okay, but, you know, I would have maybe more questions than answers at that point. But we see, you know, that 221 level held up pretty well there. It tried to put up a fight here. Is sort of where it built support off of on this push. So that's a pretty clear level. Now this 229 level, we see held up here, and gave the push off of here. So all of these levels have a really good amount of price action, pretty clear price action. So I feel pretty solid about these levels. We'll see how they play out. If it does continue to push, 237, 242, and then 248 would be levels that I would expect it to hit some resistance and, you know, give it an opportunity to flip that to support and maybe carry on its merry way. So we'll see what's going to happen. Now, if we pull in the EMAs here for a sec just to see what that looks like, let me hide this just so it's easier to see. The other important thing that's happening at the moment is, you know, it tried to push through the 34 EMA and it peeled back, but it did find support at the 21. So this is sometimes what sort of like, you know, or neutralization, I guess we could say, trend neutralization, the trend being this extensive downtrend that it's been on for a very long time. So not even talking about trend reversal, because I don't even know what that would mean at this point, given the loss in stock price in the long term. But in any case, neutralizing this, you know, becomes at least a possibility when you see, you know, an attempted break over the 34, comes back, reconfirm support at the 21. Now that's the additional thing that's important that's happening today. Not only the levels that we were just looking at, but also it's trying to confirm if it's going to be able to hold support at the 21. If so, it gives it an opportunity to drag this 8 EMA up over the 21. That would be its first bullish crossover, and then give it an opportunity for a second bullish crossover crossing above the 34. Now we did see something similar-ish back here, right? It poked up above the 34, came down, but what happened here was it didn't have as easy of a time holding that 21 EMA, that peachish color, and then it immediately lost it. So that's why I think sort of today's motion could be pretty critical. And, you know, as long as it's hanging around that 21 EMA, any day subsequent to now where it's hanging around there, it's going to be pretty critical, because if it loses that, we just, you know, you see it here as well, right? Came up through and, sorry, that's the one that we just looked at. Looking at this one over here, came up, did get those bullish crossovers, right? And then when it banged back through, it tried to hold the 21 and then lost it, and then confirmed that it lost it, and then it just sort of confirmed resistance, and then that led to it confirming resistance off of there several other times. So it's a really, really important level in my mind, and I'm interested to see if it's going to be able to hold that or what it's going to do with it. So let me pull these back in, get rid of this, and we'll go over to the think or swim side of things. So in the channel, this is what it looks like. We have TTM squeeze indicator giving us sort of a herky-jerky trigger and fire here, but it did lead to this like really quick sprint to the lower bound of the channel, popped it partially out of the lower bound of the channel, and now this is just the revival, if you will, the re-entrance and you know, most recent attempt to build support or get sort of pinned to the mid-range of the channel. So this is always what we look for, right? To return to the mid-range of the channel, and what does it do when that happens, right? It's pressing the upper bound, and it loses the mid-range. It's pressing the lower bound, it comes up and tests the mid-range, and it gets rejected again, tests it, and it gets pinned under it again. So really critical moment on here as well. We see the histogram looking as though the bearish momentum trying to die down, but we've seen that all of these swings, having bearish momentum dying down, and sometimes it taking a very long time to do so, but then the bullish momentum is just a teeny tiny blip on the radar, and it looks nothing like the extensive momentum that you get on the bearish swings. So that's sort of like the next level for me, is even if it can quash this and it can sort of build on or above the mid-range of the channel, what does it look like when it starts to get in some bullish momentum on the histogram? Can it actually sustain anything meaningful, or does it get this really teeny tiny little push like we see in these three most recent swings, or four, I guess, if you count this one, which don't really amount to anything other than like a brief reprieve before just additional price loss. So, a couple things I'm looking for there, but it is at an interesting point for the moment, and we'll see how that continues to play out. All right, folks, I hope that you've had a good trading week, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.